Welcome to Django session part 7. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing the channel to receive further updates. We shall begin with Django session part 7, where we'll be looking into these concepts. First thing, we'll solve the assignment that we had discussed in the previous class, and then we'll see about how to add to cart. We'll see about the feature called remove from the cart, cart summary, and reduce item from the cart, and check out the item. Moving with the assignments, first we'll see what all things we have discussed in the previous class. This is our website looks like. Okay, we had discussed in the previous class about the update profile, change password, and reset password functionality. Now we'll be moving on to like how to add product to the cart. Okay, before adding product to the cart, you need to provide your username and password here. Okay, so once you click on the product, it comes to the detail view, and when it comes to the detail view, you can add it to the wish list. This functionality we have already finished it, and then we can see add to cart and continue shopping. So these are the now we'll be dealing with add to cart functionality. For that, we required to have a models called order item and order. So I'll tell you what these models will do while writing the code for models. Coming to the assignments again, first we will discuss the assignment and move ahead with the further concepts. The assignment was check if the email already exists. Once the email ID is already exist, okay, then you pass on the email to that person to reset the password. But if the email ID is not exist in the system and person is trying to send an email, so that should not happen and it should give an error message. So what we'll have to do is go to the password reset view, inside which you will find a password reset form. This is holding us the email ID, only email ID it is getting. So it is getting the email ID, and in the form itself we have the save method. So what this save method will do, once the form is successfully validated for the email ID that you have passed in, it will just send the email from this. See, you can see here we are sending that email. Okay, email body and all we are attaching, and apart from this, before sending the email, it should be checking. See here, email ID is present from the user get email field, and once the email ID field is there, pass on to the get users. So what this is doing, it is going to the function called get users in the same form. Okay, you can see here under this form itself, this get user function is available. It is loading from the user model get email field name, and email field name it is passing and looking it is doing a filter operation, object oriented concept it is. So it is looking for the active users. We don't have to worry about the if the user is not active. We don't have to fetch the if user is not active. Okay, and inside which we are returning all the active users with the email ID, with that email ID. Okay, so what simply I did is, whenever I had this save, it is returning me the generator. Okay, I converted it to list, so it will give me the entire list of fields which are present, user list. Okay, now I am checking if the user list is available. If user list is available, then only you send a mails to that user, or else simply say invalid email and send out the message as please provide correct mail ID. Okay, if you want to check it out, you just check it out with that code. Okay, that part I will not be demoing it now, just you try it on your own. We'll move ahead with add to cart functionality. From the models, okay, we have to create few more models here to store your order item and order details, whatever order you are going to place. So for that sake, what am I going to do is I am going to create one more model called order item. So why I am going to create this model, I'll explain you. You can see here, I'll see if the indentation is correct or no. Okay, this is correct. Order item model is created. So order item user is the foreign key for this user model. Okay, why foreign key? Because we are going to store the user details also wherever the order item is stored. So order item is basically a number of products that you add it to the orders. Okay, only these items, suppose you add a cabbage, suppose you add a ladyfinger, that all orders will be shown in your order item table, and from this we are going to attach this order item table to your orders. Okay, we have products model, so we are going to use it products model like this, and we are going to store the foreign key for the same. Okay, suppose you store a cabbage, it will take like username, and then cabbage as a product it will store, an entire cabbage item it will store, not only the product name, not only the cabbage name, but entire the cabbage whole product will be stored. That means whole item will be stored like this with these details, product name, description, entire thing will come over here. And then apart from that, we are checking if the item is order. So we will have the boolean field called false. If item is order, we don't have to worry about it. We are not going to show in the cart or orders. So we are taking only the items that are not ordered. And order quantity. Suppose if you want to add 2 quantities of the same product, suppose if you want to add 2 kgs of same ladyfinger vegetable, you can add it like this. For that matter, I have created. The string is simply to see in the front end, like order quantity of that product name, and then total item price. So what is the total item price? It is the item price for that particular product. So it is taking the quantity and the price from the product. So this gives you the total item price. So once you do this, first register this item on the admin panel, so that once you do the migrations, you are able to see those changes. So I'll go to the admin panel, admin.py file. Just go to register over here. First import the model called order item and then say order item. Now that you have done the order things, so with this you need to have a model called orders that will actually store your order details. Here you can see this is the order, and here also it is storing the user details first, which is again a foreign key. Okay, and here it is storing the products, cause see, an order can have multiple products, and multiple products can belong to different to the different users also. So what to different orders also. So we are using many to many field, both ways it is. So we are giving the order item. So order item is this one. Here you are adding how much quantity and which all items should be given in the order, and this is actual cart. So you can see user is there, products under which entire order item will there. If at all you are ordering 3 items, it will come under this products. Start date is the actual date when your order is started, and order date is the actual date when you convert your order from cart to orders status. Okay, order status. Ordered is something same like how you use order item order boolean field. You are going to use order, which is boolean field. When the order is placed, then only it will be marked as true, or else it will be false. False every time. Now checkout address. Checkout address is something we'll discuss later on. Okay, as of now I'll comment this one and I'll move ahead. Okay, I don't want to discuss about the checkout at the moment. so I'll keep it as it is. Payment option. So as of now we will be dealing with only cash mode of payment. We are not going to discuss here about the payment gateways. Okay, we will be discussing about the payment only. So it will be cash only most of the times. And get total price is the actual price of all the orders present in the products. Here if you see self.products is there. Okay, here you will be having multiple products inside these orders. Then take all these products and take one product and get the total price of it. This total price is coming from here. This is the object. See, here is the object for the class order item, and it is getting the total from here, and total is first marked as 0 and total plus. Whenever the total is there, it will give the grand total to us. Get total price. And if you see this one, it will give item related total. Okay, for each item how much is the total. Now our model is present. What is the next job to do is just as soon as you add any model, you give it to the admin so that you can view these models inside the admin section. Now go to terminal and issue a command. Like I'll go to first online cart and then issue a command called manage.py make migrations. This will have migrations for my both of the models. If you see my python manage.py make migrations is the command, it will, so order is not defined. Okay, so this is giving us the problem in the admin because order we have not imported properly. Save. I'll use make migrations. This will go ahead and create the migrations URL. First time you can see only 001 initial is there. Now it will go ahead and create second one migration. If you reload migrations folder, you are good to see both of this. See 0002 order items migration is created. So once that thing is done, just migrate the things so that it will go ahead and sit in our database. Applying, done. These migrations are applied properly. Now the database is created for or both of the models, that is order item and order. Suppose if you go to the admin panel, now I am logged in as admin only, so it is directly showing me the admin, and here you can see these both tables are created, order and order items. Okay, whatever things you register from the register from the admin and register, it will be shown here. If you don't register here, it will be not showing you all the models over here. Okay, inside the products you have got all the products that are added from the backend itself, and then inside the orders order item you are able to see there is no any order available over here. Now we need to add the order from the front end part, from the user section. So I'll add the order, I'll write the code for all these things. So what we need to do here is, first we will go to our home page and we'll go to the detail page. Here you can see add to cart functionality. We have kept it as blank. Once you click on this, we are not having anything over here. What we'll do here is we will have add to cart functionality working properly. For that I'll go to the templates. Inside the templates product and products detail view. Inside the product detail view there is add to cart button over here. So we had added this button earlier. Okay, we are getting rid of this button and we are going to create a new button, and which will call add to cart functionality. So what this is going to do is, just see, it is calling the products and add to cart view from the products, and we are going to pass here object ID. Okay, this is product ID. Okay, object ID, and let's say add to cart. So we need to have this view inside your urls.py. First we need to have the proper route. So we will be copying this and then say add to cart, and this is taking one primary key as in int, that we are passing it from the product detail view. This product ID we are passing. So that is going to your URLs, inside which you will handle this. It is taking that product ID and it is passing to the function add to cart. Now as you can see, we don't have any function called as add to cart in the views section. Okay, we need to have that function over here. So what we'll go here and create is add to cart function. First we'll solve these errors. Okay, first thing is we need to have the message object. From django.contrib we are supposed to have these messages so that we can pass on the messages to front end. And one more thing, we are going to have get object or 404 here. So from the redirect itself we are going to have this, and we see where are this is giving us the problem. Product is not present because it is the products and not the product. So simply go and give the product. Okay, inside the models you will have order item also loaded. Okay, it is not giving the, so also you need to import time zone for this. First what I'll do is I'll import all these things and I'll explain you the code how it is working. Wherever it is giving me the problem, see here the orders also it is giving me the problem. Go ahead and import the order from the models. So from models just import order. It is comma and not full stop. Okay, so I don't see any of the error messages right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and explain you the code first, and then I'll demo you this part. First of all, whenever you pass in the order from here add to cart, you see in the left corner you can see here, in wherever you can see the cursor, whenever I hover over here you can see there is this local site and then product /1. Okay, this is the ID of the product that we are passing. That ID will come in here as a PK, and we are first going to check if the ID is, if the product is actually present or no. So get object or 404 will give you either object or 404 error directly. Okay, it will get, this is the shortcut for getting the object, particular object. So from the products model you pass in this primary key which is 1 as of now. So from the products it will take all this and it will store under the product object. So this is the product object. If the ID is present, then only it will go to the product. And then you can see first we are creating a product order product, which is we are going to create a order item. You can see here in the models there is a model called order item that we have already created now. So it will store as the user, product, order and quantity. So what this code means is, inside the views, what this code means is it will either create a new object if it is not present, or it will simply get that object for us. Okay, so it is going to create us the object in the order item. And order query set, inside the order model, inside this model, okay, we are going to filter according to the users first, according to the current user that is logged in, request.user, and we are seeing if the order is false, if order is not active, if the order is not order, then only we are going to fetch all this order. If the order object is present, see, if it is exist, it is going to take first item from the order, and we are going to check order dot products. That means what we are doing inside models, okay, order dot products, and then filter on this product. That means whenever you are filtering on these products, indirectly you are filtering on this entire object, because we are using that as many to many field. Here you see we are filtering. And order item dot product, that means we are checking if this order is present in that order item. If it is present, then simply add one quantity to that item and save the order item model. Here you can see I have provided the messages. I added quantitative. If this order does not exist, then you are simply going to add order.products, add this order product. That means this order product. Okay. Whatever first time you have created, that only you add it under the orders, under this models order. Let's go to view, and then if the order does not exist only, first I need to create the order. This order model I need to create. Okay, so that I am doing it here. Order date I need to provide it because it is not auto add field. First I need to mention the order date. I need to create a order with these details, and then need to add the products dot add, that is order product, whatever we have created. First I will demo you. This is little bit complicated. Okay, don't worry, it is not that complicated also. Okay, now add to cart is there. I'll click on this add to cart. It worked, but it did not show any of the messages here. I will copy the messages thing. Okay, first I'll show you from the admin panel whether the order is created or no, and how the order will be created. I'll open this in the new link. Here see, one of the cauliflower is added to the cart. This is not exact cart, this is just, it will hold you all the items in the cart. Okay, and this is the exact cart that you are looking. So inside the orders you will find all these details, like this user has ordered this product, like one of the cauliflower is ordered. Now if you go ahead and suppose say home, I'll add the potatoes also, add to cart. Then whenever I refresh this, you can see one of the potatoes and one of the cauliflower, which is order item model, and this is the exact order item. Okay, these many orders are placed under the user this, and order date is this. If it is not order, it is not mentioned, and payment also is not mentioned because we haven't completed the order yet. This is just the cart view of the order. So if you go to products and see add to cart is working fine, but we are not able to see messages over here. So how we display the messages is just search for messages. We have earlier used this. I am going to search in the HTML. I have this block called messages. Okay, I am not going to use a block. I am simply going to copy this entire if and place it under product detail view, which is not present right now. Copy paste. So this will display all the messages that are coming in. Now if I say add potatoes, I'll say add to cart. Okay, added quantity item. So it didn't create a new item in the order item. It just added the quantity to the previous item of potatoes. If you come here and check in the order items, you can see 2 of potatoes. I had already added a potatoes. I added the quantity, new quantity to it. Okay, this is how it is working. Order item quantity is updated, and if you see here also it is updated. You don't have to worry. So if you write such code, you don't have to worry about what is happening inside this. The entire order item is stored under these products inside your orders, inside your cart view. Okay, so this is how it is happening. And if you are going to still add one more item, it will add it as a quantity. If you see added quantity item and not the exact product. See, okay, it is updated as 3, and inside the order it is updated as 3 of potatoes, 1 of cauliflower is added. So add to cart looks fine now. It is working properly. What about remove? Suppose I want to remove entire item from this order item model. So what I need to do is I need to have remove from cart functionality. So how that we are going to do is, first thing we'll place in inside the product detail view, we have add to cart. So we'll place here remove from cart, and same way we are passing the object ID, that is product ID, to this remove from cart product. But here if you see, I don't have remove from cart in the URLs of the product. So I'll quickly go ahead and create the URL for the same. Inside the products URL, I'll add this URL too, which is remove from cart. But if you see inside the views, I don't have remove from cart function. So I'll have it here inside the views, remove from cart. This is products and not the product. Okay. Now this is doing exactly the same. First of all, we are checking if the product is present. Okay. If the product is present in the product itself, then get that product by which to which you are passing this ID remove from cart, and then check if the order does exist. That means from the model, check if this order exists. If it exists, take that order and see inside the products, same way it is doing. Inside the products filter, order item product, it is checking if this is present, this product is present. I'll show you from the models. Inside the products, if this order item is present, whatever you are going to delete, if it is present, it will be true. And if it is true, first what you go ahead and do is filter with this user, filter with this product, and order item is false. If at all this is the case, just say order dot delete, order item dot delete. This will delete you the entire order and not the quantity. I am not speaking about the quantity here. It will delete you the entire order from that particular model. That is model called order item. In the else condition, if you see, if the item is not present itself and you are trying to delete it, then it will say item not in your cart. And if the order itself does not exist, it will say you do not have any order in the cart. Moving ahead, now I have removed from cart code in place. So I just need to do here is, I'll just demo it to you all. Okay, remove from cart is there. Once you hover over this, you can see in the left corner, you can see localhost remove from cart /2. The product, now inside the order items, this product here, if you see, 3 potatoes are already added. Okay, and here inside this, here if you see, 2 of these are activated, 2 of these products are activated. Okay, I'll remove the product, potatoes product itself from the order item model. So I'll just remove it off. Okay, I removed the product. I came, this is not displaying the message because on my home folder there is no message code that we have used like your detail view. That thing, so we can fix it. First, coming to your order item model, I'll reload this. You are not supposed to see 3 of potatoes here. Once I reload this, okay, this item is removed already now. Now if you come here and see 2 of things are activated, once you reload this, okay, this thing is removed itself. Got it? So this is how it is working. Remove from cart functionality. So if you try to remove it like this, okay, remove from cart, which is not present now inside my cart, which is not present, so it should throw me an error. So after throwing error, I am passing the cursor to home.html file. So to do that, I'll go to the templates folder. Inside the dashboard, I'll go to home.html. I'll copy in the code for the messages, if messages, and paste it over here inside the home.html. Now that we have the code for messages, I hope it should be working fine. Remove from cart. So you see, I am trying to remove second potatoes from the cart, but the potatoes is not present. So it should be giving me the error, the item not in your cart. So this is how the remove cart functionality will work. As you can see, this is the error message, but it is displayed in the green form. So try to display in the red form. This is your assignment. Take it down one by one assignment that I will be giving you. This is very simple. I'll tell you how to do it, but please try to do it. From the message, you can see I have alerted it as success. If the message is of the form error, I'll show you in the view section. From the remove from cart, I have added the message info. Okay, remove from cart. And if the item is not present, also I have added it as info. You can add it as error also. And if you add it error over here, you need to just go to your home.html, and wherever this messages is there, first check which kind of error is passed. If it is success, you provide this div. If it is not success, you provide the other div and you alert it as red mark. Okay, this is your assignment. Take it down. This is your first assignment. Now we will discuss about order summary. Order summary is nothing but, as you can see on the home page, I have my cart over here. I don't do anything as of now. Whenever I click on my cart, I don't have anything, but I should be able to see all the items that are ordered inside your my cart now. We'll move ahead and discuss this. So how to do that? First of all, I'll have one order summary page. That is cart page basically. So we will go and create under the templates product order summary page over here. New HTML file, which is order summary.html. Okay, I'll simply paste in the code as of now. Okay, then I'll show you how this is working. Inside with order summary page, what I have taken as table, and for the table I am displaying the product name, price, quantity and total product price. Okay, that and total product price I am displaying. I am using it dynamically. How much ever the items we add, it will come in the for loop and it will display it like this under the TD. Under the data of that table, it will display all these items, and after which I am going to calculate the entire total. If the order is empty, it will show your cart is empty, or else it will go to the another total field. Okay, it will create a total order price and it will get the total for us. I'll explain you how this is working, but before that we'll go to the URLs and we'll create order summary. Inside the products, we are going to create a order summary. So this order summary is there now, but we don't have, we don't have order summary view with us. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a view inside view, order summary view inside your views.py file. Inside view.py file, come here and create a class called order summary view, and this views should be loaded from your, okay, where is list view? Okay, detail view. Okay, this view is present. Now view is the class that can either have a get function and the post function as well. Okay, this is the class from your generic views, and order summary view is the class that we are calling from the URL section. So what this class will do, it will take all the orders, see, related to the current user that is logged in. This is the context. Under the orders, under the objects, you are passing this entire order if the order is present. Okay, now go to the, it is rendering the products order summary.html and we are passing the context. If order is not present at all, you don't have any order. It will simply give a error message, you don't have any order inside the cart. So go to the order summary.html file. Under the object, here I'll explain you the code now. Here just it is the header, and under the objects dot products dot all. That means under the models products dot all. Products dot all is what? This is exactly this model. Entire model dot all will return you all the items in the order item. So this will take, okay, order summary, order item. Now it will take one item at a time, and it will go on adding it as a row to the table. It is adding the row as such. If you see here, this is the inbuilt function of the Django template. For loop dot counter will take one at a time. If, okay, 1, 2, 3 like that. And then order item. Order item is the order item model inside which you have order item product. Now if you come to the model and if you see order item product is there. Okay, this is as a foreign key and the product. Now it is working in this fashion. First there is product table, then order item, and then order model is there. It is displaying this format. Order item, take the first order item, then order item product, which is a foreign key for the product, and then from the product model it is displaying the model name. So if you go here in the models, you will find that, see, from the products there are multiple order items here. It took one order item at a time. Okay, suppose I'll take an example of cauliflower that is added. It took a cauliflower, and now that cauliflower is again a foreign key for products. So from inside products it is displaying me the product name. So this is working in the same fashion. Under the order summary, this is working in the same fashion as this code. Now order item, order, product, and product price. This is displaying me the price also. So this is how it is working. Now I'll show you how this page will look like. Before that, how the page will look like, I have order summary over here. Okay, I need to use this in the my cart. So before login, we had my cart over here. For that, what am I going to do is just provide a URL products and my order summary. So this is the my cart and this is the order summary. Order summary is not taking any of the parameters. If you see, there is nothing, cause it will have requested user in the request object itself like this. Okay, so this is going here, it will give the order and it will display in the order summary. Now we'll see whether our code is working fine. Go here inside the my cart. Okay, now you see they reverse reduce quantity item not found. So reduce quantity item inside the this one, I'll remove this code. Okay, show you like this first what is happening. Okay, here if you see plus quantity we can add. Okay, but reduce quantity is not there. For that we need to have the code like it will just go and reduce the item from that order item. If you see here, I can add one more cauliflower. Okay, just go to order summary and this is again calling. In the left corner you see down over here, whenever I hover on this plus, add to cart 1. Now this item is already present inside my order item model. Okay, then what it will go, it will just add an item. Just I place the plus button over here. Okay, added quantity item. That means it added only the quantity, but this doesn't look good. That added quantity item, we don't have to show the message now, and as well as it should be redirected to the same page and not the, see, if you say cauliflower, now the price for one cauliflower is okay, dollar is used. I can simply add a rupees over here and 2 quantities mentioned and the total product price is 24 and total order price is 24 itself. Okay, wherever there is dollar, I'll mark it first rupees I'll search in here dollar and I'll mark it as rupees like this and go to next one. Okay, one match is there. Okay, here. Okay, rupees like this. Now this thing is solved. Okay, and apart from that, let me go to views. Under views, add to cart. Let me go to add to cart and change this. Now I don't have to really show all these messages. I can just comment all these messages. So whenever you're looking into the code, you should be able to see what we had done. And just I'll say products, and I don't want to use any of these things now. I'll remove it off and say order summary. It should be coming to the same page. Redirect order summary. Okay, redirect to order summary. And if okay, item added to cart to order summary. Okay, let us go ahead and see now how it is working. Now I'll add one more product. You see, whenever I have one more product, it got added 3 quantity. It got added. The quantity is 3. Quantity per item is 12. So 12 into 3 is 36. So total is 36 now. So I need to have the code when I can reduce the quantity also. First thing, we'll have the code in place for reduce item from the list. So go to the URLs. Okay, under the remove from cart cell, I add the reduce an item from the cart. Okay, also it takes one ID. Reduce quantity will have the similar code as of your remove from cart item. Under the views, okay, and at the last I'll have reduce quantity. This is the products item and not the product, so I'll mark it like this. And if you see, there is no much difference over here in the reduce quantity. Okay, what it is doing is it is remove from cart will actually delete the order item itself, but this is not doing the same. This is doing taking the order item. If the order item is present, okay, take that order item, and if the quantity is more than 1, just reduce it by 1. See, like this, reduce it by 1, or else delete the item itself if the quantity is 0. I'll put the code in place. Okay, from the order summary, I'll have to use, okay, I'll copy the same a tag, put it like this, and say I'll use minus over here to have reducing functionality, and here I'll have reduce quantity item, and it is passing me the pk of that order item product. Okay, it is passing me the products id. So it is going here inside the URL section, and then say inside the URL section it is going to reduce quantity item view, and here it is first saying whether this product exists or no. If this product exists, it will just query if the order is there or no. If the order is there, it will check, it will take that order, and it will see from the products filter. Rest all things are same, like delete from the cart itself and reducing from the cart. Here is the only difference here. It is reducing from the cart, and it is actually deleting when the order when the item count becomes 0. When I reload this, whenever I reduce this, okay, it should be reducing from that particular order item. I just reduce it, it becomes 2, and it is giving me the order summary page, and your price also is changed, everything is changed. Suppose if you want to delete entire order item itself, suppose be it a 5 quantity, be it a 1 quantity or 2 quantities, if you want to delete, I have functionality over here, which says, if I over here, which says remove from cart. Okay, I already have remove from cart code applied. Okay, this was not supposed to be over here. Just for the demo purpose, I was showing it to you all guys over here. Once I say add to cart, it will come to the cart. Okay, it will show the order summary part, and it will just delete the remove from cart. If you say delete, okay, it see item cauliflower remove from your cart, removed from your cart. Just this is the message. Now you can see whenever I go to my cart, I don't have, your cart is empty, it shows. I don't have any products over here. It shows only your cart is empty. Now let's go to home page again. Now I don't want remove from cart, but I'll keep it as it is for you guys. Whenever you take the pull of this from the GitHub, at the end of the class we are going to upload this to the GitHub. Okay, if at all we get time in this session, we'll discuss how to upload these things to the GitHub account also. I'll add cauliflower like this. Okay, I'll come to home, unless I can say continue shopping, and I'll add a visit add to cart like this, and I am into the my cart. Inside my cart I can increase the product if I want to add. Okay, cauliflower 3 times. If you see, one cauliflower is 12 rupees, into 2 quantity it becomes 24 rupees, and potato 1 kg is 30 rupees, and into 3 is 90. And this entire thing, I say total order price, it is becoming 90 plus 24, which is your 114, which is this code is available, this total code is available inside the models. Whenever go to models, okay, if you have this under the order, get total item price, okay, which is calculating on into basis. Okay, and inside the entire order you have get each order item and just say plus to this, get total item. Okay, it is getting the total item from this model. Now we'll discuss something about checkout. So what checkout will include? Once I come over here, we'll have something like checkout option over here before continuing shopping. So what this checkout will look like? So checkout should have one more model that will store all of your details, such as your address, your payment option. As of now we are dealing with only cash payment option, so we'll be dealing with that. Okay, first thing, we'll create a model over here for the checkout. So go to models, under the product, and let's say checkout. So checkout address here, if you see, there is one error, country field. We are going to use one more library called Django countries, which will give you all the countries present inside the word. I am going to import from Django countries.fields, import country field. Okay, now country field is not defined. If you see, there is error called country field is not defined. What all fields are required in this? First thing is for the checkout address, which user's address we are going to store. We are going to store this also, we are going to use as foreign key. Okay, street address, apartment address, just the fields. If you want to have it multiple fields, you can add it over here. You can also have the contact details under this. Okay, under the user section you will always be having the contact details, so you don't have to worry about having the contact details here. Here you can simply have state, country, zip, pin code, and such kind of things. Okay, under the country we are using the country field, which is multiple, false, because we are not going to use the multiple type. Okay, we can select only one country at a time. Okay, this country field belongs to this library. So first of all, it is giving us the problem country field is not defined. So to solve this problem, what I am going to do, under the trending underscore environment, I'm going to install pip install and then say Django countries library. This should solve our problem. Requirements already satisfied. That means I had already installed under this package. If at all not, you should not be worried about this. Now your code should be working fine. Now if I go to run and say reload, okay, it is reloading properly cause our Django countries library is working fine and it is using we'll show you how this is working properly. Okay, under the forms, now under the products you need to create the forms for your address thing. Okay, checkout option. So how we will do that? You create a HTML file. You create one more Python file called forms.py file. Okay, under forms.py file, I'll have this code in place. Right now we are dealing with one payment option, so we have mentioned it at cash, and checkout form will have your street address, your apartment address, your country, and country field is like this. As you can see, we are taking it from the fields, country field, and widget is country select widget. So for this form field we are adding country select widget, that is your select box which will give you all the country names, and select country is the blank label. For at the first time it will show you the select country, and the country field is taken from this library. So under this library, if you see under fields, country field is there. This is char field which is taking from the countries, and this will provide you all the country names. Okay, so our form is ready now, our model is ready. So sorry, before moving to this, okay, our model is ready. So we need to have our model over here also inside the orders. So whatever order you place, your checkout address should be also given to this. So this is also we are using as foreign key, and which is checkout address. That means your this class is used as foreign key inside your order. So you can see we have used users as foreign key. You have used we are storing products separately, but you are using as a foreign key here. And then we are also using checkout address as a foreign key. That means checkout is stored separately, but you are using it as foreign key over here. Inside the order summary page, you have checkout option. Before that, first I will migrate all these things. Python manage.py make migrations. It created a migration and it said create a model checkout address. We have created this new model called checkout address, and we have added a field called checkout address which is a foreign key to the orders model. Okay, then we are going to create a migrate so that it will take effect in our database. Once you do all this, come to the admin part and just register these models, which is checkout address, which is again a checkout address. Sure. Now all these things are working fine. Okay, this form has to display somewhere. To display the form, we need to have view code in place, and from the URL section, first we need to have the checkout option. Okay, so to have the checkout option, I'll just say, so before checkout option, from where it should be called? It should be called from your order summary.html file. This is order summary.html file wherein you have continue shopping code. Okay, inside the call span, okay, you can mention it over here. Okay, checkout. It is calling checkout from the products. So go to the URL section. Okay, then you should be having the path, proper path for the checkout. This is the checkout view. Inside the views, you should be having the checkout code. So what that checkout code will look like, inside the views you should be having this checkout code. I'll explain you this code, how it is working. First we'll see what all changes. Okay, checkout address is not found. It can be imported from your models. Okay, checkout. Okay, from the models. Where is the models we have imported? Okay, we can import it here. Checkout address. And we have also not imported a checkout form that we have created in the forms.py file. Just go here and use code as from.forms import checkout form. Okay, this checkout form is used. Now that you see, we don't have any of the error messages over here. Now what will happen whenever you click on checkout? Okay, I'll show you how this is looking, inside which you can see checkout option over here. Under in the left corner, you can see whenever I hover, it is calling the checkout method from your URLs. Then once you go to URLs, whenever you click on this, okay, now template does not exist at checkout. Okay, products checkout.html. Now checkout.html template is not present under the products. I'll create that checkout.html file, which is a HTML file. Okay, checkout. So under this checkout, okay, I'll paste in the code of your checkout.html. I'll tell you what this code includes. First of all, I'll show you how it looks like. Then I'll show you, I'll explain you this code, how this is working. Okay. Okay. Now you see. Okay. Your checkout form will look like this. Okay. You have created this form in the forms.py file. Country. Now select country. That is one library we are using. It will automatically give you the country names. You don't have to store these country names in the list and like load it here. This is giving from the library itself. You don't have to worry about it. Mention the zip. Okay, zip code. And then this functionality is not yet done. Like shipping address is the same as my billing address, and save this information for the next time. This functionality is not added as of now, and cash is the only payment option that we have given as of now. So you can use the radio button cash. This will look like this. So what in the code I'll show you in the from the views part what it is happening. First of all, it is going to the get request. As and when we click when we click on checkout, it will go as a get request. Suppose if you see in this thing, it will go as a get request only. Okay, get order summary. This is go as a get request. So inside the views you have this get request. Okay, so what this is doing is it is giving me the form first, that is empty form. This is checkout form, we have written it on the forms. Okay, and this form will display me that address things. Apart from that, in the context I am passing the order related to this user, cause on the orders on the checkout related things on the checkout HTML page, I should be showing the orders that are available that you are ordering and the total amount for that order. So what you do here is just do these things, get and pass the form and the order. Or now first time it is displaying me this page, this one. Okay, and once the form is posted, that means you added the things, and once you check on continue to checkout, once you click on continue to checkout, so on continue to checkout, what is happening, you see, first thing it will be a post method, and your field form will come as a form that is now filled with the details. Okay, and the order is this same, like what all orders are present. Now if it will check if the order is valid, if the order is valid, then only take all these details from this form, the form that is submitted. See, form.cleandata.get, street address, apartment address, country and zip, it will get into these details. Okay, payment option as of now it is cash, I'll keep it as it is. Okay, it took the payment option as a cache. And checkout address is this model checkout address wherein we are filling this data to that model. We are filling in the checkout address. So we are storing first this checkout address model. Once you store this checkout address model, for this order what you are going to create, for this order we are going to store this checkout address also. We are going to upload checkout address thing in that. So order.checkout address and mention the checkout address that you have already saved as of now. So order.save, it will store the order detail. So as of now I'll keep it like this. Payment option is cache. So I have mentioned it as payment option. It will store the payment option as cache, and I'll make order as true. That means this is ordered already and it should not be showing in my cart again. So for that reason I have marked it as true, and then say add success measure ordered successfully. Okay, and after that come to dashboard home page. Apart from that, if the order does not exist only, you do not have any order, and go to order summary page. This is the code for checkout. Once I click on checkout, once I fill this detail, suppose I say okay, XYZ colony. India is my country, so I'll select India as my country, 590006. Okay, you can have multiple details to store like state, city. You can use any of the details. For the demo purpose I have used so many details only. I'll select as a cache and I say continue to checkout. When I say continue to checkout, okay, see, ordered successfully. Now the order is ordered successfully. If you go to database and check, if you see here, 3 potatoes, okay, inside the order, okay, here you see order, and 3 potatoes and 2 cauliflowers are being ordered now. Okay, when you go to my cart, you do not have any order now. We do not have any order active because we are checking if the order is already ordered. That means it is boolean field which is made true by us. We are not fetching any orders now. If at all you want to add some more items, add to cart. Now it will show us my cart. Inside my cart I will have this item also. So it will create a new entry in my orders. It created another entry because this entry is false as of now. This is not ordered, and there are 2 items in the order item, but this is only the selected item that we are going to place. 3 of the potatoes are, it is mentioned as. Okay, you can simply go here and reduce the quantity like this. Okay, now you can see quantity also is reduced. Your item will be placed. Okay, here it will be, your items will be placed like this, which is marked as true. In this class we discussed about add to cart, remove from cart, how to reduce the item from the cart, and checkout option. In the next session we will be discussing about how to upload our code onto Git. Thanks for watching and see you in the next lecture.